Hello Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today for Simple Stories to share with you this baking layout created with the Baking Spirits Bright collection. So as you can see from the layout there, I have included two pictures, but I've also included a recipe card. And so the recipe card is an interactive element that is on my layout. So I am using this red as a bold shot of color to provide contrast to the layout, and it is going to be a header that isn't really a header, a border on the right side and the left side. As I was going through all of the tons of great goodness you get to choose from in this collection, I really liked that page from the 6x8 paper pad that says, "We wish you a Merry Christmas." And so I knew I wanted to fussy cut those letters out that says, "We whisk you." And I wanted to change it to a Happy Holidays because these pictures are of the cookies that I made. Those are the ones that are on the red pedestal. And then the cookies in the Tupperware are the cookies that I got from a cookie exchange that we did at work. And not everybody celebrates Christmas, it's just the holidays. And so I wanted to make sure that it said Happy Holidays. I am going to use a sticker later on that says Christmas cookies, but that's just decor really. So I really also wanted to incorporate this tag that says special delivery, and the mouse is delivering cookies. And so they're just elements that I have the option of choosing from that are relevant to the theme and the topic of the layout here. So I'm going to fussy cut each of these letters out, well actually the words, and I spared you the agony of having to watch that. And now I'm going to attach so these are Simple Stories pocket cards, and they have adhesive on them. And so I am going to use that to attach the recipe, the actual recipe. So I will off camera copy that and align it into a Word document that I then print directly onto the card. And so this is a flap, it's interactive, and so if you were to take the page out of the page protector, I may even cut a slit so that this slides through the page protector. You lift it up, and then there is supposed to be a photo underneath there that you will not see that in the close-up, and you will not see me put it there, but it is my coworkers, and because this is a rather public venue, I did not want to include that picture here without all of their permissions, and it was just easier to just tell you that there will be a photo underneath there. So I want to back each of these photos, again, just for a little bit more contrast to the photo. And so I have used the smaller patterns that are available in the 6x8 paper pad. I love the 6x8 paper pads. Typically when I am shopping personally for me, I always buy the tags because I always use those. And I will usually only buy 3 or 4 pieces of the pattern paper, but I will buy the 6x8 paper pad because I know I use a lot of that for framing photos and layers and those kinds of things. So I know I want to have a flap that will hold that 4x6 pocket down. Again, this isn't as interactive as a memory planner like I would normally put these interactive elements, but I don't want it flapping around, blowing in the breeze, as I would say. So I'm rifling here for the cooking implements. As you can see, I just found, and so I'm going to pop up the title. That is not something that I would normally do because that is too fussy for me, but I really wanted the depth of the title with the kitchen implements flat on the page, and so that is why I'm going to do it. It's also a lot easier to do if you just run a strip straight across, which I am able to do because these letters are pretty fat per se. So we've got the title there, "We whisk you," and then I know that there is a green banner that says Happy Holidays, and so that is a known element to me. So you can see I have a lot of vertical elements. So I've got that red, and then I've got that diagonal stripe that's beside it. But then I also have some strong horizontal elements as well, because you can see that brown, it's kind of like an espresso color. that goes across that is in the bottom of the recipe card there. But you also get that strong horizontal element from that green banner there. And so I have to make them gel. I need to have a balance of horizontal and vertical because I have such dominance of both of those lines that they need to balance each other out. It's almost like they negate each other. So I toyed long and hard here with, there is a foam sticker that is hanging stockings. And my original plan when I had set out to create this layout was to have that at the top. You'll see me try and fit that in, but it's really too big. And so yes, there you go. See, doesn't it look perfect up there? It's just, it's too much color, and so I wanted to find a way to try and incorporate it into the layout because I just love those hanging stockings, but it didn't work. And so in order to create the balance and fill in that white space on the right hand side of the recipe card, I've got this bits and piece journaling block there, and I like that. But I want to fill this space so that it almost takes up the same horizontal amount of space as that recipe card does. So see, I'm trying so hard to get those stockings in there, and it doesn't work. But I do love the continuation of the kitchen bits and pieces that's on the recipe card on the left-hand side, continued with that journaling block there. So that's the block that I am going to use, and I am actually going to journal on there. So when I pulled that green banner up that says Happy Holidays, it actually pulled up a piece of that green pattern paper. You can see it there. And I forgot to do something about it before I took the pictures and the close-up pictures, but I actually have gone in with a green marker and literally just colored in green there. And you can't really see that. So I'm going to use this apron as the photo anchor, sort of the corner anchor for that flip it. And so that will only have adhesive on the right hand side of the apron because that is what is going to be the anchor for that recipe card. And there isn't really an indicator anywhere that, please flip it. But that's okay because I don't know. I don't know that everybody always needs to know all of the details sometimes, and it really is just another photo. It's not a story, and also the photo isn't necessarily pertinent to the story. Well, it is pertinent, but it's not a dominant factor or feature in the storytelling process. So just because I have lots of elements and I just want to continue with the cooking theme, I'm going to scatter some things around, sort of it represents the very busy kitchen that Christmas cookie cooking is. And so I have that mixing bowl and then the rolling pin at the bottom there. Wanting to really incorporate this tag, but not make it just sort of stick out like a sore thumb. I thought that maybe if I layered the tags, it would be good. But what I didn't like was that both of those pieces were askew, for lack of a better word, and everything else was pretty right angle. And so that one askew thing looked funny. So I solved that by just cutting off the top and having that peek out over the tops of the photos there. I'm really struggling here with that rolling pin. So remember I talked about having to have vertical and horizontal lines that balanced. Here I have two very, very dominant horizontal lines, and I just couldn't make that rolling pin work. So I will come up with a solution. I feel like I also have empty trapped space between what I'm going to call the shelf of the recipe card there and the rolling pin. So that trap space just needed to go. So I also feel like I need to fill in something fun, sort of like garland in a way at the top right there. And so you can see I've fussy cut a whole bunch of the cookies from candies from one of the pattern papers. And so I will put those up there as well. So there I fixed, I took away the rolling pin and that lovely puffy gingerbread. I love the gingerbread men and women in this collection. They are so awesome. My gingerbread people, I should just call them. And so you've got that little just that cascade of busy kitchen, busy Christmas cooking that goes across the bottom of the layout there. So that is the Christmas cookie sticker that I referenced earlier, that I didn't really want it to be so much Christmas as holiday, but for me, they're the same thing, and I know they're not for everybody, but it is the Christmas holiday, and this was about the Christmas cookies, and so I did put that up there. And I really like that all on the right-hand side, and felt that I needed something to balance that out on the left-hand side. But so what I will decide to do, as I'm sort of, I like to think, when I'm not sure what to do, I keep designing, and other things pop up as I rifle through things. And so I will find another tag, here we go, that I will put in there. So again, this is a layout created using the Baking Spirits Bright collection from Simple Stories. It is available over at A Cherry on Top, as well as scrapbook.com. Super awesome, fun collection, especially for all of your Christmas endeavors, or your baking endeavors, I should say, in the kitchen. So enjoy the close-ups. Thanks for stopping in today. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the box down below, especially about how I put that interactive card in there. Thanks for stopping in today. Come back again soon. Take care.